Bass. Good afternoon, Megacon Tampa. How are you? I said, how are you? Sorry, I still cannot hear you. I said, how are you, Megacon Tampa? All right, that's more like it. Everybody had a great weekend so far? Everybody get a chance to see Katie up at her table earlier today? Or over the weekend? All right, well, we're gonna see her on stage. We're gonna have some fun. We got microphones set up. I want questions from you guys, because you guys know that I'm terrible at this. You guys do a much better job of asking questions of our talent, so please get up to the microphones, restore my faith in my ability to do this stuff. I'm gonna vamp until just somebody gets up to the microphone. Nobody? Somebody gonna get up to the microphone? There we go. No, he's just moving seats. Which microphone? Right there, man. I'm gonna call on you first. I like your costume. I think your costume is a good choice, considering our guests. So we got a video that we're gonna play real quick. We're gonna bring her out here. Any fans of a little television program called Arrow? Okay, good. I showed up to the right room. So let's cue the video. Let's get her out here. Sound good? All right.
Just saved your ass. We go with my plan. That's cute.
Let's bring her out, ladies and gentlemen, Katie Cassidy! Let's keep it going, keep it going, keep it going for her.
I was actually just watching that video myself on the side. It's very weird to watch yourself. I don't normally like to do it, but...
Here is your life on Arrow in clips.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, that's what I look like on TV. Okay.
Well, I've got to start talking to you about Arrow. There's so much Arrow in existence now. I listen to a podcast called the Speedy Arrowcast. It's like a recap show. I found it was the best way to wrap my brain back around all of these years of this show. It's really the foundation of the whole CW, DC show universe. Did you guys have any impression whatsoever that was their goal, was to build a series of shows around the main one, or they were just going to see where this one went and go from there?
I don't think anybody really had any. Obviously it's a dream come true and very, very, very fortunate, but I don't think anybody knew how big it was going to be. I had an idea season one, once we got picked up and we started shooting about halfway, into shooting 23 episodes, around episode probably 12 or 13. I remember I just kept being like, meaning when I say they, producers, Greg Berlanti, creators, I was like, there's some giant plan. I know you guys are smart and that you guys have this huge, I knew that they had a plan to do something like this. I could just tell, then the Flash and everything. And Andrew Kreisberg, one of our producers, I asked him, I was like, you guys are doing something very large, right? And he was like, yep. Cut to 5 shows later, we're all in Vancouver, living like superheroes or supervillains. It's pretty awesome.
I like to be sensitive of spoilers, but I think pretty much everybody here keeps up pretty well. But in general, you've disappeared and come back to this, CW spinning universe of stuff multiple times. Has it been, maybe you'll hear from us maybe for something next season on this show or that show, or it's just hey, so we need you?
Well, it depends. After I departed from the show, sorry, I try not to spoil it for anyone, departed for a second from the show, Andrew Kreisberg called me and he had gone over to Flash and he had said, would you come back as on to the Flash as Black Siren for an episode, and it's the villain, and he started talking to me about it, and I said, yeah, that sounds awesome. So I did that, and then, you know, I had so much fun. The producers, I think, really liked my interpretation of the character, and we kept talking, and yeah, they couldn't get rid of me.
I think I speak for everybody here when I say that, yeah, I mean, we're glad that they could not get rid of you. You keep coming back, and you were a lot of fun.
Thank you.
No, a lot of people, fans of Arrow, you know, we got a young Arrow fan who's going to be our first audience question out there.
What's up, dude?
He's into your show. I'm curious what you were into when you were a kid. What were you a fan of? You know, whether it was, I mean, were you into books, movies, TV shows, cartoons?
I was and still am a big gamer.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I was
really?
all over the PC with Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem 3D?
Yeah, and then I was all over the PlayStation with 007, GoldenEye. Any gamers out here? Any of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
112,000.
Now I'm a big Call of Duty fan. I play on the trackpad on my laptop. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, it's really hard. But it's
you
really
have the
fun.
dexterity of like a lockpicker.
Yeah, pretty much.
So is it predominantly shooters that you're really into? Was it just something that you gravitated toward early on?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, my sister and I played when I was young, Mortal Kombat. We were very much into Mortal Kombat.
Who's your go-to?
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
I just want to. It's the thumb blaster. You know, his finish him finale. Yeah. My thumbs were always really sore after playing video games, so I'm really glad. I mean, I should say really glad, but I'm really glad that I did find the trackpad. It saves my blisters on the ends of my fingers.
So, at what point did being an actor become a thing that you wanted to do as a profession, or even just as a hobby? You know, was it as a kid? Is it something that you just stumbled into backwards? You know, what made you want to start doing this?
My family, I come from a family of actors and singers.
Really? I had no idea.
Yes.
You don't own any records or anything?
No. So I always sort of just say I was born this way because it's in my blood. It's entertaining, and you know, just performing and acting is just, you know, something I've always really wanted to do, and I have done since I was a kid. I just didn't know I could make a career out of it, which is awesome to be able to say that now. But I remember when I was like 16 or 17 in high school and thinking about college and thinking about what I was going to do, and I remember I couldn't even go. I was supposed to audition to go to Tisch or NYU, and I couldn't make the audition because I was on set filming Seventh Heaven at the time, and I was thinking to myself, and I'm like, I'm working professionally to do what I'm already. Why would I stop doing it to go, you know, stop my career to go do something and then come back in something that I really want to do when I'm doing it?
The on-the-job training is pretty much like schooling.
Yeah, absolutely. But I did do, you know, went to more of like an acting college, if you were to say anything, because I was in class and studying and always have and always will, and I don't know, I really have always wanted to entertain.
When going to school for it as a man of the stage myself, did you find yourself drawn to stage combat because you were so into Mortal Kombat?
I definitely think maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. It inspired me to definitely video games like that stuff. You know, I think it's cool, and I'm into the action and playing a superhero or a villain. It's pretty badass.
So in the various types of combat that you've gotten to engage in, have you particularly enjoyed doing the on-screen hand-to-hand stuff, the stuff with sticks? Is there any of it that you particularly enjoy doing the most, or that you enjoyed learning the most?
Yeah, I really enjoy. I actually went through training, so while Laurel was training, I actually was doing the same thing that she would have been doing, and I did a lot of boxing and kickboxing, and I think, you know, throwing a few punches always feels pretty good. It's very therapeutic. I like it.
Kicking and punching and doing all that kind of stuff. So have you found yourself picking up other martial arts or interest in that kind of thing?
There's a couple of drills that I'll do with David Ramsey. I'm not going to pretend like I know much about it. His study and craft, and But we'll do some drills once in a while. If you were up here or near, I would make him do it right now because it's really fun. But I'll post it on social media at some point, and you guys can see what I'm talking about.
So does he throw something at you and you know block it and that kind of thing?
Uh-huh. He's
like what?
martial art.
Like what kind of thing? You're on stage with the Jeet Kune Do guy, so you know.
He'll throw a punch.
He'll throw a punch. He'll throw a punch and you'll take him down.
I can't take David Ramsey down. I don't think anybody can. Seriously, his arm is like the size of my whole body.
It's the size of the stage.
It's like huge.
So he throws a punch, and what do you respond?
Well, he makes sure that I'm aware. It's called a pop.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into talking about it. I'm going to be really embarrassed.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Hey, I'm curious about how you guys have fun and make it training at the same time.
Yeah, it's a bunch of just like hand drills and when it comes to like boxing and stuff, like Paul Blackburn and I, we used to work out together and we would do boxing and with pads and holding pads for one another, and it's really fun. It is. It's a lot of fun.
What would you say is your nastiest punch?
I have a pretty good hook. My left hook.
You have a pretty good hook?
Yeah.
Can I hold for you?
You want me to, can you box? Really?
Yeah.
It's gonna be my left hook.
Okay, left hook. All right, left hook. So jab cross hook. Boom. Now jab. Yeah. Now hook into here. Jab cross hook.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Again.
Sure. Wait, hold on.
I'm good. I push like brick walls. Yeah. Put some heat on it. I said something about your phone.
Oh, said something about my
I said something about your phone. I said something about David Ramsey's arms. All right, we got your workout in.
I know.
We got your workout in.
Breath.
Yeah, we're gonna do savate kicks next.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, you really got into that.
Yeah, I did. Well, start talking about my mom.
So when they reboot Mortal Kombat,
You know who to call.
you know who to call.
I'm sweating now.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make this a whole thing. But hey, I think everybody had fun with that, right? Wait, you see what this inspired? We got a ton of people up at microphones to ask questions, so you don't have to deal with my dumb stuff anymore. We're gonna start with this guy right here. I don't know if I'm gonna call him the Hood or Arrow or Green Arrow. I mean, what do I call you, sir?
John?
John.
What's up, John?
Hey, John.
Can I steal one of these waters right here?
Yeah. Oh, I've got one right here for you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
There we are.
What's up, John?
I had a question about your clothing line, Tomboy Casey.
Yeah, it's actually not. One day I hope it will be a
Yeah.
clothing line, but we are a lifestyle clothing blog. Yes, for those of you who don't know.
Do you think you're ever gonna start selling clothes for men?
Hell yeah! I love that question. Yes, John. Will you be buying them?
Yeah.
I think you have your first customer right there.
TomboyKC.com. We'll start selling them.
Okay.
I love it. Thank you.
It started here. Thank you, John. You're gonna go right over here. Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna bring you up on stage. Come up on stage. K questions are the best questions. Come up on stage. It's late in the day Sunday. They can't fire me now. What's your name, my friend? Caitlin? Caitlin, I'm gonna hand you the microphone. This is your job now.
Hi, Caitlin. Do you want to come sit here? Okay. You'd make a really great interview host. Doesn't she look lovely? Let's give her a round of applause.
What was your favorite character that you've played so far?
Out of every character I've ever played in my career or on Arrow?
Every character.
This is like, she's gonna get a job. E-News is gonna be calling. Laurel Lance, Black Canary, and Black Siren.
honestly, I thought I was going to get out of some work this afternoon.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got Agent Carter herself,
Yeah.
jumping from one comic book universe to another.
Yeah, I know, I'm cheating.
No, it's totally fine. I love Agent Carter.
What's it like playing Black Siren versus playing Black Canary?
It's really fun playing a villain. I mean, I like to consider myself personally a pretty nice person.
We love you, Katie!
Oh, thank you. I love you too. So it's kind of fun to be not so nice all the time, I guess. It's a terrible thing to say. It's interesting. The dynamic between myself and Paul Blackthorne is where I find it the most challenging, because he and I think, we work very closely and our craft is similar, and when we walk, when I came back as Black Siren and then we had a scene together, we were both so confused, just because we're so used to this one dynamic and playing his daughter, and it's been a challenge, but it's been really fun and really fulfilling. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Right over here.
Do you like Marvel or DC more?
Whoa. What?
I like my job.
I think that's a very good answer, all things considered.
Yes. Thank you.
Just double underline. DC for life, right here.
Hi, I'm a huge fan. I've seen you in just about everything that you've been in. If you could be in charge of writing your redemption line or storyline for Laura Lance Black Siren, what would you do?
You mean if
If the writers came to you and said,
we want to redeem Black Siren?
yes, what would you do? What would you want to play into?
That's a really good question, and I actually really hope they do decide to do this, because I think it would be, as an actor, there's so many directions you could go and so many layers. I think there is a chance at redemption for her, and I think it would be like a really hard, complicated road, but I think that overall she would be understood why she acts and does the way that she does. And I think it stems back to her father and family growing up, and what she had to deal with, and the hardship that she went through to get to where she is now, and why she has this darkness inside of her. And I think it would be interesting to sort of let the darkness out. Isn't that a line? Maybe that's a line my characters. Sorry.
Have you been recording a lot of voicemails for people?
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, did I say that? So yes, I think it would be really interesting, and I think it would be really hard, but fun at the same time.
That's a really great question. If I can ask a follow-up, you mentioned the writers cooking up all this stuff. Have you found yourself really just completely surprised out of the blue when you see what they've come up with as the story twists and turns along the way? I mean, there is this murderer's row of writers that you guys have working on these shows. Anything in particular really blow you away when you got a script in your hands?
I think it was called episode 419. That's the episode. Spoiler alert, I died in. I was very shocked. They chose to kill me off.
You're like, excuse me?
I was like, wait, hold on. It's interesting the way that played out, though, because I just got an email, and talk about your intuition or gut, or I just knew. I got an email from Mark Guggenheim, and it just said, Wendy and I want to sit down and have a meeting. Please let us know when you're available. And I literally saw the email. I didn't even open it. It just came on my notifications at the top. And I took a deep breath, and I immediately it said, we'll meet you next, it was the following week. And I remember taking a deep breath, getting on my phone and saying, Mark, I have really bad anxiety about this email I just got about meeting you next week with Wendy, but please don't make me go through the weekend, because I have a feeling you're going to tell me some bad news. And he responded, we'll call you tomorrow. And sure enough, the next day they called. I don't know why, I just knew. I was the only one who wasn't concerned all season. I was like, you guys, nobody's in the grave, okay? It's make believe, we're fine. No, So yeah, they ended up calling the next day, and I was just like, I know, huh? It's me. And they were very sweet. I think they were really sad. I think everybody was really sad. It was very unexpected. And, but I understood from a creative aspect. I understood as writers, producers, if you kill off a main character, it gives the characters you get so many reactions, and to go down other different character storylines, it's a platform to jump off of for more writing. And when you need more material, it's a pretty easy go-to, I guess. But then they brought me back, so I was sad about it, but never mad about it, I guess.
Yeah, we can't get rid of a good thing. Right over here.
Yeah. If they asked you to do a cameo in the movie Sharknado, you like to do it?
Would you be into being in Sharknado? This is a question I find gets asked to everybody at some point or another.
Sure.
Sharknado 6, Sharknado 7. How would you want to be killed in a Sharknado movie?
Is it crazy that I'm going to sit here and say what?
So
it is.
So the Sci-Fi Channel does these B movies about a tornado made of sharks.
This is interesting.
D-? Yeah, he's downgrading it. I called it B. I would even say K+.
So there's a tornado of sharks?
Tornado sharks.
Can I be a shark? No! Oh. She says no.
She's vocally
And
against
I don't want to die in this tornado shark.
All right.
thing.
You're going to be the shark that survives.
Yes?
You're the one that survives.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I like it. I like you. We're going to go to you next. Go for it.
That's awesome.
I actually have two questions. Who do you think survived the island? And what was your first reaction when you heard they were bringing you back as Black Siren? Because I know you know who survived the island, but if you didn't know, who would you think?
Did you have a guess?
Nobody. It's a joke.
I mean, we know Oliver and William did, but anybody else you think should survive the island?
Black Siren.
You did. We know it. We've seen promotional pictures.
And my reaction when they asked me to come back as Black Siren,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the look on my face right now, I think. I just was ear to ear, grinning, happy.
Where were
excited.
you when you found that out?
I was in Redondo Beach at my parents' I guess a vacation home.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Ready.
Hello again. I know it's been a long time, but what was it like to be on the set of Taken?
Okay,
This man
is
has
awesome.
a very specific set of skills.
There's a few things that's awesome about this. One, I realized, my fiance the other day was like, babe, do you realize you're the reason you're the reason it exists. It's all started with you, because I was the first one that got kidnapped and then
Taken, as it
taken.
were.
And I was like, that's right. You know what? It is because of me. I'm gonna take that. Thank you, honey. Now I know I'm marrying you. And also, so I was 19 years old. I had just graduated high school. They flew me to Paris for a month to work 4 days at 19 with my best friend. Obviously it's free for us because I'm there shooting, but not 27 or 28 days of the time that I'm there. So we were just partying it up in France and hanging out with Liam Neeson. So it was pretty awesome.
So, did you get totally wrecked last night, Katie? What happened?
No. It was a blast. It was really incredible, and it was really cool to be a part of something so special. And he is a wonderful actor, and it was a great experience.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Right over here.
Hi, so I have two questions as well. One of them is about Laurel and the Black Siren. If you are going to be redeemed, as they say, in the new season, do you think that there's a chance for you and Oliver to get back together in any way?
It's an interesting question, because I have thought about that. Yeah, I think that maybe it's not Oliver on Earth 1, but I definitely think it's possible in some Earth or time travel or, you know, some sort of way they come up with. I definitely think it's possible.
And the other one was, one of my favorite movies is Monte Carlo. You were in it with Selena Gomez. Did you like filming that movie at all? Or like, what kind of experience was it for you?
It was really, yes, I mean, I had a wonderful time. Leighton became a really good friend of mine. The one, I will say, it was really, really hard work because we shot 6-day weeks, so we only got Sundays off. And you're shooting, 15 hours a day. We shot most of the movie in Budapest, so in a country, obviously I wasn't aware of, my family wasn't there or anything, so you're kind of away from everything you know, which was cool because it kind of brought us together, but it was really hard on me. I just remember it was a hard shoot and I was tired, and you have to keep going, and being in almost every scene, I guess, it takes a lot out of you, but it's cool because you have each other to lean on, and I think that's what brought Leighton and I as close as we are.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Right over here.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
As a fellow video game enthusiast,
Yes, I love your costume.
Thank you very much.
It's awesome.
I'm sorry that Nolan North is not here to see this. It's pretty great.
It would be amazing if he was. If there was a video game that was being brought to the big screen, what would be the game that you would most like to see? And if they were casting for a role in that game, what role would you like to play?
Liara Tassoni, Mass Effect.
That's a good answer. Excellent answer. And you play Mass Effect?
Thank you.
So when you run into Jen Hale at these shows, do you freak out a little bit inside?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's cool. I actually used to watch Power Rangers. So when I was here, doing one of my first conventions, I think it's a green Power Ranger that
Jason, the guy with the brown hair?
Yeah, and I remember just like, I was a huge fan. I mean, I hate saying that. I am a huge fan still. I shouldn't make it past tense. Of the green Power Ranger. He just thought I don't know. He was like, are you okay? Are you okay?
Guys, can we do something about this fan?
Yeah.
Because
who's this girl
I'm
with
worried
this
about her.
giant line, with people waiting to meet her, coming over, and I was just like, sorry, you guys, I need to talk to him. It's pretty funny.
Right here.
Hi, Katie. I also like that you're a huge gamer. So am I. I love Mortal Kombat and RPGs and all that. So yes.
Yes.
I've been asking a lot of the actors that done Flash and all that. I know you probably like Black Siren and Black Canary, but what other superheroes and supervillains do you like also?
I'm a big fan of Catwoman.
So am I. I love Selena Kyle too.
Just putting it out there. And Michelle Pfeiffer I thought was fantastic when she played Catwoman. I also have 4 cats. I consider myself a Catwoman in a way. And I think it would be really fun to be able to, sort of, if they ever did want to pass the mantle, pass it on, I think that would be awesome.
Anybody out there think that's a good idea?
I love cats too. I'm a big cat person myself, so cool.
Awesome, thank you.
Could we trouble you for a meow Batman? Meow Batman. Meow Batman. Yeah. Would you give us a signature Catwoman line?
Meow Batman.
Would you give us a signature Catwoman line?
Oh, I know.
I'm like, what? Throw it on you. You got a good signature Catwoman line?
Yeah, meow Batman, is that good? What? Yeah? Oh, that's a good one.
In theaters. Coming soon. You'll have to go to the movie.
See, there we go.
There you go.
You're trying to get the
You'll see me in the movie. Yeah, no.
Right over here.
Hey, Katie. You played Ruby in Supernatural. first off, do you ever, miss getting to, play on, in that show? And also, do you ever still, catch up and watch to see what Sam and Dean are still up to?
What was the first question?
Do you miss getting to work?
Yeah, I mean, Supernatural was the first show that I signed on to as a series regular, and so it was a big learning experience for me. But it was so awesome. I remember calling my agent the first day and being like, "This is the coolest thing ever!" Like, I just totally geeked out, and I had so much fun. And for sure, I remember when they killed me off. All of these people love killing me off. When they were actually going to keep me, I was supposed to do, I'd still be on the show now if they hadn't made this giant change. But I didn't know that when I signed up for it until the end of the season, and it was just, and this happens, and it's understandable from a producer's standpoint. There's a budget, and they can't, they have to figure things out, and things change and make things work, and so it was sad. I didn't necessarily want to go, and I would totally come back if they wanted me, cameo.
I mean, the show's called Supernatural. They could probably do 1 or 12 things.
I think it would be, and it shoots in Vancouver, which is where we all shoot. Eric Kripke? Just saying. It would be really fun, as you can tell. I had a blast playing that character. And then what was your second question?
The second question is if you still tune in to watch what Sam and Dean are up to.
Does it hurt too much?
Right. I don't watch TV that much. In general, I watch Stranger Things, which yes, I did fangirl out that those kids are here. That's cool.
Are they in this room? 3:30?
Yeah, no, are they? Are they?
I mean, if you want to hang out.
I might be here. They're awesome. So I do watch that show, but I do run into Judson because we live in the same building. So I run into those guys.
Thank you.
Right over here.
Hi, so I'm a big fan, and I was just going to ask you 2 questions. What was your favorite season you played in Arrow, and what was your favorite episode?
I would definitely say, season 2 or season 3. Season 2 was really hard on me, physically and as mentally as an actor, and going into that state that character was in was really hard. But I loved a challenge. It was definitely challenging. And then, to come out the other side and then train and morph and turn into a superhero is kind of the best thing ever. So yeah, season 2 or season 3. And then my favorite episode is called, I think it was 313, Canaries? Yes. I loved that episode. It was so fun. I love working with Katie Lotz. She's like a sister to me in real life. And yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. John Barrowman is a pretty crazy guy to have around on set, and he does a lot of pranks, obviously, like with Stephen Amell and things like that. Has he ever done anything outstandingly prank against you and that you enjoyed to be a part of?
I couldn't imagine that he ever would. Not sweet, lovable John Barrowman would never ever fly.
This is during season 3 or season 2, I don't remember. So John, first of all, I'm in a dark place. My character was crying again in a corner somewhere. So I literally, when I do stuff like that, shoot scenes like that, and I try and stay in it while I'm on set. So I'm probably in a corner crying somewhere in between shots, setups, whatever it is. But so I'm in a pretty emotional state, and I remember for whatever reason, we had a minute, and I went to look at my phone, and so I'm with Steven on set, and we're shooting this really heavy. I think it might have even been the hallway scene, really heavy scene, and I go and I looked at my phone because we had a little time off, and lo and behold, I have a message from John Barrowman, and I was like, okay, and I open it, and sure enough, it's John Barrowman. His ass selfie all over my trailer, taking pictures on the fridge, on the bed, on the TV. picture of his naked ass on my trailer, and I remember seeing it, and I was like, wait, John's not even in this episode. Like, is he in Vancouver? Like, what? And I couldn't help but, you know, this huge grin came on my face. I started laughing, and I went to Steven, and I was like, I'm really sorry. Out of nowhere, you just have to see what just happened. So I'm showing you the picture, like showing him laughing, and his face is like, oh. Thanks, Katie, I didn't need to see that. It was fun, it was hilarious, and the timing couldn't have been better. I was in a dark place, so it definitely made me laugh, and I ended up going into the hair and makeup trailer, and he's like sitting there cracking himself up, having a ball. He thinks it's hilarious. He's like, yeah, that's my ass all over your trailer. It's a nice trailer. Enjoy.
You were in a dark, dark place, and he gave you a big, bright, golden, shining thing to, you know, brighten your day.
I'm like, thank you, John. Now, I'm just like sitting and like taking a break. It almost feels like it's like in John's ass. Like, you put it all over my trailer. But he's awesome. He's hilarious. We love him.
And today we learned the true healing power of John Barrowman's ass. Right over here.
Hello, I'm Jordan. And the first time I watched Daryl was episode 1, and I just have to say that you're awesome. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And then
Thank you.
Yeah, in season 3, we found out that you were going to be the Black Canary, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
I was really excited. And if you could end up in the new Justice League film as Black Canary, who would you want to team up with?
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
Right?
That depends if he's
I feel
going to be
like
in it.
my brain is just trained that way.
Yeah, that makes a good point.
Yeah.
Again, when you tag your social media post, Katie Cassidy stays on brand.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
CW. Yep.
Download the app. Right over here.
Sure show.
Hi, Katie.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well. Could you come a little closer?
Did you want to come up?
Yeah, could you come over here for a second? I'm sorry. No, yeah, I think you should probably come up on stage. I'm sorry, there's something wrong. Maybe the AV guys can look at this, but you know, for some reason I just can't hear.
Do I come sit here?
Head over here, Supergirl.
Hi, Katie. My question is, growing up as a kid, did you read the DC's comics and that helped inspire you to audition for Laurel Lance and Arrow?
That's a really good question. Can you tell me your name?
Madison.
Hi, Madison. You have really pretty hair.
Thank you.
Well, Madison, I did not read them growing up. I was aware of them, but I did not read them until my character actually transitioned into, I shouldn't say I didn't read them, I didn't read Black Canary until I was actually going through it because I didn't want to get ahead of myself, and I felt like it wouldn't be as authentic to the character to kind of jump ahead. So once I started, becoming this superhero or Black Canary, then I started doing some research.
Cool.
Madison, you have really cool boots. I'm jealous. Let's hear it for Madison, everybody.
Thank you, Madison.
Thank you. I mean, we gotta do something about that audio issue. For some reason, every time a kid asks a question, I don't know. Right here.
What's up?
I myself have 2 questions in particular, and one of these I'm asking for humorous purposes. First off,
we're gonna judge you immediately.
Which Laurel are we talking to, Black Canary or Black Siren?
Which Laurel are we talking to?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Which one did you want to be talking to?
She's very accommodating.
Happy to be here, easy to work with. That's my name.
My second question is, how different is it to go from playing a hero to playing a villain now?
It's pretty. They obviously have a lot of parallels. I did a lot of backstory for different characters, meaning I came up with, for Black Siren, her own backstory. So I sort of basically just created a similar character, similar traits, but I treat her like a different person, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, thank you.
Right over here.
Hi.
Just one question. Why did you want to be in Supernatural?
Why did I what?
Why did you want to be in Supernatural?
Why did I want to?
They offered you the job?
Well, I actually read the character. The character was really cool to me and challenging, and I thought I could have fun doing it. And then I just watched some of the shows, and I was like, these two guys, I get to look at all day long. Okay, what? Sign me up. I'll take that job. And the show was cool. It was fun.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
We've got a few minutes left, so we got time for just a couple more questions. We'll go right here.
This is about your training. Did you ever train with Stephen Amell to do like the free running?
Okay. Let me just talk about this really fast. Stephen Amell, okay, when my character went from transitioning into a superhero, I was literally waking up at 5 a.m., like going to train, you know, whether it be boxing, weightlifting. I remember I was working out, you know, 2, sometimes 3 times a day, different types of workouts, yoga, weightlifting, different things at one point. And Steven, I remember starting season 4, he had just started training. And I know he did during the pilot, I know that. And then I was like, he started training with my trainer season 4, and he was like, oh, I worked out this morning at 9 a.m. And I'm like, dude, welcome. I've been doing this at 5 a.m. for a year. And now you're finally, he's like, oh, it was really hard. And then I come to work after, and I'm like, I know. Yes, you just look, Steven, we always think he's kind of like, not real, because he look like he'll go to the gym for once per day, and he'll look like he's just been living there. He looks like he lives in the gym. He's crazy, it's crazy. It's insane. But he does work out hard when he does.
Well, you're still the Ginger Rogers of Arrow. You do everything he does backwards and in heels.
Yeah, I can do anything you can do, but better. Girl power.
So does that mean you'll be on the Ninja Warrior now too?
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Why not?
We'll fit it into the schedule somewhere.
Yeah.
Right here.
Hi.
Hi.
So far in Arrow, what was your favorite moment to be in? Like, scene? What's your favorite scene?
The end of season 2, the last episode when I put on the jacket.
Understandable.
I cried. Even just thinking about it right now, it's gonna make me cry.
We're gonna add that into your reel. We're gonna make you watch that every time before you come out. You'll just come out, you come on stage, you'll be a weeping mess. Sorry, I mean, you told us, so now you're stuck.
I should say, I had cried when I had my fitting in my trailer with Maya, our costume designer, because signing on to the show, I was told that I was going to become the Black Canary, you know, season 1, season 2, and then obviously season 2, and I had a sister who was the canary. I was like, wait, I thought you guys said I was going to be, no, what? Okay. Just wait my turn. And then finally when I have it, I remember the costume, Maya and I were like, and I was just like starting to get emotional, and I was like, finally, I've wanted this for so long, and she was like, I know! So it was pretty empowering and cool.
Thanks for answering.
Thank you.
Right over here.
Hey there. Well, before I ask my question, I kind of want to ask something. So this is actually the first time I've been to a convention in 7 years since I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and I'm always in the hospital, so I was just wondering maybe I can come up with you and ask my question.
Sure.
Yeah, man, what's your name?
Anthony. You can call me Tony.
Tony, come on, Tony.
Come on up here. Do you want to sit in the hot seat over here?
Absolutely. Get up here. I just been keeping this warm for you, Tony. Let's hear it for Tony. Let's hear it for Tony.
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 Yes, of course. So let's hear it.
Well, I got a question for me and a question for my wife.
Okay.
First question, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And since Disney and Lucasfilm's been focusing towards having females as main characters, would that be something that you would possibly want to audition for in the future if the opportunity ever came about?
Hell yes. I think that's awesome. Absolutely.
That's great. That's awesome. I'm a huge fan. So.
Let's just put it out there.
I love your character in Arrow. Wonderful.
Awesome.
And the question that my wife wanted me to ask, and this is actually probably a question for all the females that love Steven. My wife wants to know if working with Steven at any time with him and his rock hard body, do you ever get, blush or little tension there?
Do you see the look on my face?
I can see it.
That kind of says it all.
Dude, I'm a straight guy, but that dude's ripped, man.
Let's be clear. The look on my face is, and he would tell you this. This look is like my not impressed look. So, he's like a brother. He's like my brother. And I feel like I'm like his mother. Okay? I'm like, no, Steven, calm down.
Maybe
dynamic of our relationship.
Maybe Chewbacca didn't get a medal, but this guy did. Let's hear it one more time for Tony. Tony.
Thank you.
All right, we got time for this last one right here, and we gotta get her packed up and out of here. What are you? This is gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
You promise?
I promise.
Like best question ever, bro.
I promise. She's
Awesome,
probably
bro.
heard this already.
Rock and roll, bro. Do it, bro. Do it.
So, been a lot of conventions, and I know that. I know you've answered this question a bunch, but who's better, Flash or Red?
I love my job.
And I'll remind everyone, Katie Cassidy stays on brand. So a couple orders of business before we let her hear some noise one last time. I mentioned this during our last panel with Alex Kingston, especially as we get to the last panels of the last day of a show. Some of the most important people that are here, other than all of you wonderful fans, are our crew. So if we get a round of applause for the wonderful crew that has been making this thing run flawlessly all weekend. They're the reason that all of this stuff is going on without a hitch. And also, I love that we had so many people out here this weekend. I know that having lived in Florida when I was in college, hurricane season is always rough for somebody in this state, and it was especially rough for a lot of us who have friends, family, and in many cases, people I've talked to this weekend ourselves. So thank you all, and I'd like to hear for the state of Florida, everybody making it work, rebuilding, repairing, and finding a way to just keep moving forward. And let's keep it going one last time for the one and only Katie Cassidy.